Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Pop Victims. I am one of your very handsome co-hosts, Peter Patrizzo, and across from me is the vivacious, the voluptuous, the always a turn on, never a turn off, Tommaso de Palma.
The ugly co-host.
So here we are, Tommaso, first episode. How's it feel?
It feels like it took too long.
Yeah. There was a little bit of a delay there. You know,
lots of problems.
Yeah, we apologize for that, but we're here now. That's what matters. Better late than never, I always say.
I mean, if people like us.
Hopefully they do.
If they don't, it's just blaming Emily.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's all her fault.
Yeah, you know. But, you know, we could blame her all day. But really, we're here to come together and talk about all the stuff we enjoy.
I mean, you're talking about things you like. I guarantee most episodes just going to be me talking about how whatever you're talking about is fucking terrible. Because most of it is today.
Well, not too long ago, you and me went to go see Endgame.
Speaking of terrible things.
And you have a very interesting opinion on it. Why don't you talk about it?
I mean, it's not that interesting. And that's pretty much the opinion. The movie was just...
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta say real quick, spoilers, you know, because everyone's gonna fucking bitch at us.
So many spoilers.
We don't say spoilers.
The movie's been out for how long? Even
Almost
the fucking
a month
people
now.
who made it said that past Monday, spoiler time started. So, grow up. Anyway, it was terrible. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I may be slightly biased to be against Marvel, but, you know, I have enjoyed some of their movies, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The first Avengers was all right, you know, with the aliens.
Yeah.
You know, Doctor Strange is good, Ant-Man is good. The Thor movie that was pretty much Planet Hulk, you know. A bunch of them are good. Endgame was bad. It was a horrible way to end the series. It was pretty much 2 hours of Disney's, you know, greatest hits, where they go back in time through all their fucking past movies, right?
Yeah.
Which
I did enjoy. I'm going to point out right now, I did like Endgame. I do not agree with Tommaso completely, but he does have some good fair points. Please continue.
Well, it was 2 hours of, like, you know, the greatest hits of movies we've done already, and it was just like, all right, something I did enjoy first was the first almost 45 minutes of the movie is dark as hell, and I enjoyed that. You know,
so did I.
I will come back to that at the end of my rant, because it goes into another rant. But otherwise, it was very slow. It was about 2 hours and 15 minutes of a slow drudging forward with minor fights that took less than 5 minutes, almost every single one of them, and peppered with the type of jokes that only those marvelous writers for those movies can pull off, for a final fight scene that was kind of cool. You know, the portals opening up was kind of cool, but the whole movie was pretty much 3 hours of Disney going, here are reasons why we are going to keep taking your money. You know, the involvement of Captain Marvel was almost worthless in the fucking movie. Don't get me started on her. She was a fucking terrible pick for Disney. There's much better female icons in Marvel that they could have used that have superpowers to lead the feminist charge of women in movies. Not a fucking character whose claim to fame was being in a coma. All right? And now, that's a separate thing. But, you know, I mean, and even the part with the portals at the end. Who's the first person to come through those fucking portals?
Well, yeah, it was Black Panther.
No, yeah? Because pandering, because that's all Marvel My mistake. That's all Disney does now in their movies is fucking pandering. You know, and yeah, it was just to end the saga that way was just terrible, and it didn't even make sense. You know, I want to point something out. One of the biggest plot holes, I think, and it was fucking terrible.
Which one? Because there's several.
Well, the big one for me was Captain America coming back at the end old. Now, if you recall earlier on in the film, the Sorcerer Supreme, you know, the girl Sorcerer Supreme, told the Hulk that by taking the stone away from her time, it would make a different timeline. So by that logic, Captain America staying in the past, changing events, would have caused a separate timeline. But yet, he was still in the main timeline, old. Now, him doing that means he was in the main timeline still.
Right.
He didn't have enough Pym particles to go into a separate timeline, then go back in time old, fix the problem, travel again. There's no way he had enough Pym particles for that, right?
Well, that's why they go back to the 70s to get Pym particles.
So you're trying to. Is that going to be the loophole
station.
then? Steve Rogers just whippity-doo through time? Yeah, constantly as an old fuck trying to get Pym particles? No. So that means he was in the main timeline, and he stayed with that girl that he loved, you know, and grew old. By that kind of. So then what? The Captain America that normally existed in that timeline should have never been around. Like it's just like trying to throw time travel also killed it for me because no one is ever consistent with it.
Yeah, that was actually one of my issues with it when I first saw it, because when I watched it with you, it was my third time seeing it, and watching it for the third time around, it was like,
I don't know how you did it.
So like the third time around, the time travel problems are a lot more blatant, and another issue that I had that was like inconsistent with the time travel was that when Peter Parker comes back, Spider-Man comes back, he at the end of the movie he goes right back to high school, and he sees, you know, his high school friend. You know,
yeah,
he's
the fat kid.
Yeah, the fat Samoan kid. He's like, oh, you know, oh, so good. You know, like he's so happy to see him. Mm-hmm. And it's like they said that when they wished everyone back, it was 5 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Peter Parker was 16, 17 when he died during the snap.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what his friends is. His friends probably around the same age. So it's 5 years later. Why is he still in high school?
Well, I mean, that one I could figure out. So he was dead, or they were all dead for 5 years, whatever, dusted, right? So they probably would have just picked up where they left off. If he was still in high school when he got dusted, or just gone back to normal. Now, the other classmates who didn't get dusted, sure, they've already graduated and went on to live what seemed like miserable fucking lives and this like post-apocalyptic
Everyone's
Earth.
just all depressed. Yeah. They're having like PTSD meetings and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, just seeing people get dusted. Personally, I think Thanos did the right thing. You know, especially in today's age where we're wasting so much resources, it's fucking miserable. But I also hate that's something else I hated. I hated Disney's version of Thanos. I just hate because they make you feel bad for him sometimes. Then sometimes you understand what he's doing. It's stupid. I liked Thanos as a villain because in the comics, all he gives a shit about is pussy. He's trying to murder everybody because he's in love with Death, and he's trying to impress her.
Yep.
Because he wants some action. It's like, you know what? I could respect that. I'm murdering everybody because I'm in love with a crazy woman. I can relate.
I think we both can.
Yeah. But the comic is stupid. And then without the gauntlet, he was kind of like a bitch. I mean, in the final fight...
I mean, he
like,
does beat Hulk at the beginning of Infinity War.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he let some fat drunk chop his head off. Because he's all miserable.
Well, he
'cause
wasn't fat
won.
when he cut his head off. He got fat after he killed Thanos.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Though, at least now I got
We could
two
cosplay as
characters.
Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could cosplay as more than just a Lebowski. I could cosplay as Thor Lebowski.
Damn right. Yeah. I mean, overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a good wrap up to this,
Terrible wrap up.
arc to the MCU.
It was so weird. Like, I've never seen a movie go so slow and so fast at the same time. Like, it
Right.
dragged on, but then there are scenes that just went by quick as a bunny. And then the other thing, it really seems like none of the Avengers really give a shit about anyone else who died except Stark. Like, where's the funeral for
The Vision.
Vision?
Yeah.
Where's the funeral for
Black Widow? Yeah.
Like, they didn't like none of that stuff. Gamora, at least Earth 1 Prime Gamora, whatever. Because now there's another Gamora running around. Who the fuck knows? That's stupid. I really enjoyed the first time I saw that movie when it was called Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
The really dark, slowish, story-driven movie that climaxes with a big fight scene that had sprinkling of a little bit of actions in between. I mean, hell, Endgame even had their own Martha moment. They just did it faster than DC did. When the Captain Americas are fighting, and one of them drops his locket, and then the Captain America from the past is just like, yo, what the fuck are you doing with my locket? And then Captain America Prime is like, my locket, bitch, and punch him in the face, whatever. Like, I didn't realize that the two movies were so alike until you pointed it out to me afterwards, by the way. For those out there who know me, I didn't realize that until Peter pointed it out.
Yeah, no, I will defend Batman v Superman till the day I die. I don't understand the hatred for that movie. Well, I do, but I don't agree with it. Also, Endgame, like I said, I really did enjoy it. But see, here's the problem with Endgame. Here's the real problem. See, BVS was great because it told a story. It was building its own story within itself. Or just continuing the story that began in Man of Steel. But with Endgame, if you take all the other movies that came before it, if you take that out of the equation, the movie's not that good. Like, the only thing that makes that movie really good is, like you said, all the nostalgic stuff. It's like
the pandering cash grabbing that Disney's become so good at.
Yeah, and I did enjoy it for that, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did enjoy a lot of those moments, a lot of those throwback moments. But yeah, you take that away, and you're not really left with too much.
I just don't think that Endgame brings home the soup. It just doesn't do it.
Doesn't bring home the soup.
No,
doesn't bring home the soup.
I don't
Tommaso.
even think I'd put it in my top 10 Marvel movies, honestly.
All right.
Yeah. My favorite one, still to this day, is the second Guardians. It's probably still my favorite Marvel movie. Yeah. It was entertaining to me. There was good action, decent story, and in my opinion, the saddest ending for any Marvel movie. With Yondu. He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy. Or and then he gets the Ravager funeral.
Yeah.
Like, everything is just very well built up for that.
That got my face leaking.
Yeah. It was definitely the best. And like, that ending was beautiful. And I was like, that should have been similar. But it's just the end game. And also, anyone out there who was surprised that Captain America and Iron Man, aren't part of the franchise anymore, you're dumb. Because both actors, for the longest time, have said that after Endgame, they were done with Marvel movies. Like, they didn't want to do it anymore, especially Robert Downey Jr. Like, he's done.
So, yeah, they were basically like the workhorses. They carried this whole franchise.
And without him, I
Yeah.
really don't know how the next phase is gonna do. I mean, I'm still gonna go see the Ant-Mans because I like the Ant-Mans. I'm still gonna see Guardians 3 featuring Thor, I guess. You know.
Ass Guardians
Yeah.
of the Galaxy.
Yeah, the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Man, whoever came up with that pun deserved a promotion. So I'm still gonna see those. You know.
The same director that made Thor Ragnarok made What We Do in the Shadows. Same guy, and he plays the lead vampire.
Oh,
And
interesting.
yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see what the next phase is. Maybe pop culture will change.
Takiti something.
In the next 10
I can never
fucking
pronounce
years.
his last name. Forgive me, internet.
Because right now, according to pop culture, you know, when it comes to the movieverse, Marvel good, DC bad.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe this next phase without their workhorses will be Marvel bad, DC bad. Because there's no way society's ever going to agree that DC good.
Well, yeah, it is the public opinion right now. You know, like you said, Marvel good, DC bad.
Like a bunch of degenerate cavemen.
Yeah, just reciting it like a bunch of Neanderthalic fucking sheep. But you know, I it's not like Warner Brothers has really done too much to help their case. They have made some solid movies with the DC stuff.
Their woman choice was much better. That didn't seem
What, Gal
pandering.
Gadot?
Yeah.
As Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman didn't seem like pandering at all. Didn't feel forced at all. You know, Gal did a great job. I mean, the movie was a prequel, so, you know, couldn't be, you know, too terrible.
I mean, she was fine. Don't get me wrong. I got nothing against her or her playing Wonder Woman. I felt like they could have got someone that was a bit more busty.
Is that why you're...
Well, not yeah, you know, no, not busty,
Someone
but
a bit more submissive, like the
No.
Wonder Woman from the 60s.
someone just a bit more bulky, you know, someone a little bit more, like, you know, a little bit more
but that would have
muscular.
been what? Wonder Woman. The first Wonder Woman was kind of jacked. Wasn't her daughter? I forget which version of Wonder Woman was Gal. The daughter, like a current Wonder Woman in the comics, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the second Wonder Woman. Yeah, she's not nearly as jacked as her mother was back in the day.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, she's still playing Diana.
Yeah. Well,
You know, the Gal Gadot is. I'm saying she's playing Diana. So.
True, yeah. But yeah, you know.
And also, I'm tired of all these Marvel fanboys saying that Thanos could beat Darkseid. No, it's not possible.
We're not Death Battles. We don't need to do a versus.
Yeah, I know.
But I agree. Yes, Darkseid and the anti life equation is more powerful than Thanos and the Gauntlet.
But Darkseid doesn't even need the anti-life equation to beat Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, probably one blast from his Omega beams.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. Like,
Well, not only that, but he can also trap you in that dimension where you go through like the most horrible deaths over and over again.
I feel like Thanos would be okay with that, though.
Might be. He might. And not that we have anything against Harley Quinn. Yeah. But you know, she's obviously like the poster girl, you know, for DC Warner Brothers at this point.
Any overweight alt goth girl is oh, I'm so Harley, look at me, I'm crazy. Like, you know. Not that I have anything against, you know, overweight goth girls.
And they all seem to forget how abusive the Joker was and still is to Harley Quinn.
Well, no, Harley isn't even with him anymore. She's with Poison Ivy, I thought.
All right. I mean, she was at one point. I don't know if she still is though.
I mean, she fucked Nightwing, which was interesting.
Yeah. That was hot.
Yeah. Apparently, she just does what. I mean, I could respect her too. You know, I just
right.
You know, I fuck who I feel like fucking. Good for you, Harley. Go for it. You know.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Joker was swinging something correct.
Well. Yeah. You know, but. To segue now, let's talk about another comic book movie that came out last month.
It's always super professional to state the segue as it's happening.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. You know, that's why I did it.
Yeah.
So
opinion now. You probably don't.
There was another comic book movie that came out last month. That was not as
Shazam?
well received. No, not Shazam. A little comic book movie called Hellboy. Now, you did not see the new Hellboy movie.
No.
Not yet, at least.
No.
As soon as
it's about a boy from hell or something.
But I did see it, and I am a huge Hellboy fan, not just of the movies, but of the comics. And you are as well.
Yeah, I do have many Hellboy comics sitting at home. Yes.
I have the entire run, so...
So this isn't a competition.
I know. I'm just saying, man. But no, I love the Mignola universe, Hellboy universe. I think Mike Mignola is one of the best comic book writers and artists, still working to this day.
Artistically, I dig him. Yeah.
I love his art. And you know.
Not my favorite. I think McFarlane is a better, personally, visionary for me anyway.
Well,
I like his aesthetics better.
I can see that. Yeah. But with the new movie, okay. First of all, I just want to say it does not deserve 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie was dogpiled because of the release of Endgame that was coming out 2 weeks later.
I just want to say real quick. First off, fuck you, Rotten Tomatoes. Also, those of you out there who get your movie opinions from Rotten Tomatoes are the same kind of people who probably get their news from The Onion. And you should take your head and either stick it in the dirt or up your own ass, because you are an idiot. And I hate you.
Yeah. Because it got destroyed. It got destroyed because of all of that negative attention it was getting. Now, I will admit, after watching the movie does have problems. Like, it has some pacing issues. There's way too much blatant like swearing in the movie.
Good.
But that's
not like we've been fucking doing that. Well, me anyway.
Well, no, but I'm just saying it's just there to be, so it could be rated R. You know what I'm saying? This is R, so let's just throw fuck in there because why not?
Yeah.
But I don't know, but that's not the comics, man. Like,
I feel like Mignola would have him curse in the comics if he could.
if he could,
yeah,
perhaps. But
there's only so many tentacle monsters that could attack you before you throw out a fuck. It's like, oh, this fucking shit again. Like, I just killed. You'll be my 37th tentacle monster I've had to fucking slice to pieces. Like, really? Really?
He also fights Nazis. So,
yeah, but I feel like after beating up 10 Nazis, I throw out a fuck or two also.
And other
fucking Nazis again.
But yeah, it was had some like I said, pacing issues. There was too much blatant cursing. The violence didn't really do anything for the plot. It was just, hey, let's have a shot of random violence here.
All right.
And
it was a modern horror movie.
It was
a shitty story with violence that made no sense and a lot of cursing.
It was basically they took Hellboy and made it into another R-rated horror action movie.
Hellman.
Yeah. And they did incorporate a lot of stuff from the comics, like directly from the comics that I did appreciate seeing in the movie. And I still like the movie, and I will still say that David Harbour was a perfect replacement for Ron Perlman to play Hellboy.
Right.
I get so pissed at people saying like, I was just at the mall the other day, and the guy who took care of me at the counter was like, because I was returning a Hellboy comic that I got from Amazon, so I went to the Amazon bookstore to return it, and he was like, man, that Hellboy movie, right? And I'm like, I liked it. And he goes, come on, if you're not going to have Ron Perlman, it's not even worth doing. And I'm like,
Well, again, that is pop culture society making sweeping decisions for all of mankind.
I know.
I mean, I saw people posting things, hashtag not my Hellboy. You know.
Yeah.
And
But here's my issue with that. Why are you okay with different actors playing Batman, Spider-Man, Superman?
right? We should have stuck with Clooney.
Yeah. Why are you okay with all of that, but can't accept Hellboy, being played by a different actor? Because, like it or not, Hellboy is a comic book. That is the source material.
I mean,
and it got rebooted like every other major comic book movie franchise.
I mean, I enjoyed Perlman. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, so did
that.
I.
I enjoyed those movies. I am disappointed we never got to see the end of the trilogy because.
So am I. Yeah, absolutely.
Who fucking
Guillermo del Toro.
Del Toro, thank you.
Guillermo del Toro,
If you're
master
watching
filmmaker.
this, Del Toro,
love
fuck you.
What?
Fuck you.
Oh, well, I love
For
you.
not finishing that trilogy. You could stick your head up your fucking ass too. So that's another thing, all right? For those people that are so gung ho about Perlman being the only Hellboy, I've read the stories. They're awesome.
Yeah, they
Hellboy is. To say that the character is shallow is a little bit of an understatement to me. He is not a difficult character to play. He's not deep or anything. Are you muscly? Check. Do you have a kind of like I don't give a fuck kind of attitude to you? Check. Boom. You could be Hellboy. It's not that difficult. So replacing Perlman, yeah, it sucks. Perlman was great. The trilogy would have been much better, but Del Toro's a cocksuck. Just who cares? Did he look? First off, you could put a dancing monkey in a fucking Hellboy costume. Who the hell cares? It's 90% makeup. Perlman had to sit in a makeup chair for hours. And if you put them side by side, the two pictures, they look pretty identical to Hellboy's because it's a square jaw surrounded by red, a top knot, and sideburns.
I will, yeah. And you know what? I'll even make the argument that David Harbour's Hellboy makeup design was a little more accurate to the comics, because they actually give him the scars and stuff that you see on him in the comics, and in the makeup that they didn't put on him on Ron Perlman's makeup. So yeah, but I think one of the biggest problems with it was the marketing and all the stuff that was happening behind the scenes, because the movie had like 15 producers on it. It had like the script went through like a ton of rewrites, and it from what I heard, there was a lot of problems on set. I think David Harbour got into like a big argument with one of the producers that came on set, and he left. Like he left the set because he just didn't want to deal with the guy anymore.
Sounds like David.
Yeah,
sounds like Dave.
And not only that, but like you can tell just from like the first trailer that they did not know how to market this movie, because the first trailer is like they're playing like a very upbeat song. It's like it's that song Hey Mo Ne Mo Ne Mo dun, 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 dun. You know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do actually, but I like watching you struggle.
I'm sure everyone else does too.
Billy Idol.
Yeah. That Billy Idol song. Thank you. Yes. And like in the trailer, it's they're showing all like the jokes and like all the gore shots and stuff like that, and it just felt like they were trying to market it like it's like, hey, this is a wacky R-rated comic book movie, just like Deadpool. That's how they were trying to market it. They're trying to market it like Deadpool. But Hellboy is not fucking Deadpool. It's a completely different character.
Are they? They're both red. They both have a troubled past. Both their faces are kind of fucked up.
I guess.
They both fight with gun and swords.
But they're both very different characters.
Yeah. I'm sure if Deadpool wanted, he could have a giant fist.
Giant stone fist on Deadpool.
Yeah. If you're watching Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds, I mean.
Right.
Crossover.
But yeah, they were trying to market it like a Deadpool movie. And I don't know. I think that's where it fell apart. Because it was clear that the producers wanted a very different movie. They didn't want a Hellboy movie. They wanted a movie that they could market as like a wacky R-rated comic book movie. And I think that's where the whole production fell apart.
I don't have an opinion.
I know.
Because I didn't see it.
I know. And, it's sad.
I concur. I got you, bro.
Thank you. And, it really is sad because of that now, the movie failed terribly. I mean, they lost like $80 million on the movie, the studio. The movie, I think, only made $15 million or $15 million plus. So, yeah, there's no chance of a sequel. I'd be shocked if they announced a sequel.
Well, then they, you know what? Test your luck at an Abe Sapien movie.
Yeah, but
that one.
It just really bums me out because I love Hellboy and I really just wanted the movies to continue. I wanted like a good Hellboy adaptation.
Well, we can't all get what we want, Peter.
I know. I know.
I want a modern, well-made Spawn movie. It's just not going to happen.
Well, you may get that sooner than you think.
No, I won't, because if the person you told me is playing Spawn, then I will hate the movie.
Jamie Foxx?
Yes.
Why don't you
watching Jamie Foxx back out of the movie?
Why do you want?
Do for Spawn what Momoa did for The Crow, and have some self-respect, and just back out.
Why don't you want Jamie Foxx playing Spawn?
Because a fucking comedian shouldn't be playing Spawn. Have you like Jamie Foxx? You're funny, but your range as an actor is trash.
I mean, he could do serious.
I disagree.
All right.
He's a yuck man. Most yuck men can't do serious. It goes against their nature.
I don't know. I'm gonna see it if it comes out.
I mean, of course I'm going to see it. I love Spawn.
Yeah.
I love all those macabre fucking type of characters. I mean, hell, I have the Spawn, Lady Death. Anything to do with that kind of macabre, hellish, kind of shit, I'm all over. And, I mean, hell, Spawn has done what? He was a knight in medieval times, as Pirate Spawn.
Yeah.
He's pretty much from hell Batman.
He's pretty versatile.
He's just been everything.
Mm-hmm. It's Hellspawn for every period in history, I think. Isn't that right? Yeah. But it wasn't always him. It wasn't always...
Well, yeah, that's because there's multiple Hellspawn.
Yeah. No, I
just
know.
like just like the Crow, which Momoa... Thank you for backing out of that movie. As a fan of the Crow, which he is apparently... He recognized that doing it was a bad idea. There was other problems, of course. If this is the first time you're hearing about this news, The Crow, the movie with Momoa that was supposed to happen, isn't anymore. And for good reason. Remaking a movie, that is amazing, and is also Brandon Lee's last movie, because he died during filming, is a travesty, especially for a character like The Crow. You have zero reason to remake any Crow movie. You know what you do? You just make a Crow movie and just continue the saga. It is not...
Well, they did do that
for
3 other movies. They did do that for 3 other movies.
They did that for a bunch of movies, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all you had to do. Do you want Momoa to be the Crow? Cool. Just make another Crow movie with an original story.
Did you ever see the series?
Yeah, the series...
How is that? I've never seen the series.
The series is okay.
Okay.
As far as things that were cool in the 90s that got TV series, The Crow was probably my favorite one,
Okay.
followed by Highlander, and that's it. We're not even going to mention the Blade series because it just never happened. Just never happened.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
And that fucker got his own movie.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
Blade movie with that guy in it.
I know, I've seen it. I know. It's
Horrendous.
it's terrible. Yeah. No, Blade is Wesley Snipes. I don't care what anyone says. He was born to play that role.
Yeah, it's too bad from what I've heard and read that he's like a super raging D-bag, especially to his co-actors,
Right.
his co-workers.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is
it
unfortunate.
feels like his real life persona is the persona he had from Demolition Man. Pompous,
He just stayed in that role for the rest of his
he's just
career.
a pompous
Yeah.
fucking prick. So I really feel like the main reason he was so good in Demo Man is because he just wasn't acting. That's actually him.
Right,
Like, they
right.
didn't even give him a script. There was like they told us like, all right, Snipes, go out there. People are gonna interact with you, and just do whatever you feel is right. And that's what he did throughout the whole movie.
Just rock on, man.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, while we're on the topic of Marvel movies that came before the MCU, you know, the Ghost Rider movies we were talking about before.
I'm still really disappointed. I had predicted how Endgame was going to end.
Tell them your prediction.
I had predicted the same exact ending for Infinity War, right? And that was going to be at the end of the movie, Nicolas Cage, or Nicolas Cage, for those of us who really know him, was gonna,
seasoned veterans.
Yeah, he was going to ride in on the Ghost Rider bike, you know, dressed like Ghost Rider. Not as Ghost Rider, by the way, as himself, as Nick Cage, steals the gauntlet with the stones, right?
Right.
Doesn't use it. He just takes it away from Thanos. Then laughs maniacally as Cage does, and then rides off. And that's it.
If that's the way the movie ended, I would have given it all my money.
Yeah, no, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know?
Or if like the Punisher just shows up and blows Thanos' head off,
Yeah.
and then just rides off in his black van, that would have been great.
That's a shame. Speaking of Cage, that, you know, I enjoyed the Ghost Rider movies because it's Nicolas Cage. You know, he's one of those actors that you don't know if he's good or bad, but you enjoy him or hate him.
But isn't Ghost Rider also like one of the Marvel properties that you actually really enjoy?
Comic book wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I like I said, you know, clearly by what the fuck I have surrounding me,
Right.
I'm into that, like, you know, darker, cliched alt stuff. And Ghost Rider
So
is
am
one
I.
of those guys. You know, I fucking love the character. But
As do I.
it's just a shame that the Nicolas Cage's what was supposed to be his first comic book movie never happened. Because that would have been amazing.
Yes.
Could you know, and for those of you who don't know, and there's actually footage, like pictures, because they started the project, it just never got off the ground. Nicolas Cage, in a movie written by, partly written. Right?
Kevin Smith did do a draft on it.
Yeah.
He did. I don't know how much of his original script was in the final draft, but he did do it. Yeah, he did do a draft.
Was supposed to be the Man of Steel Superman,
Right.
which would have been amazing. And I mean, could you imagine if that kicked off
That-
the DCU?
Well-
Just seeing
well, also
Nicolas
at the s-
Cage fight Batfleck
Yeah.
would have been the greatest fucking thing ever.
Martha.
Yeah. just because you know what? If the movie was bad, you had no one to blame. You can't blame Nick Cage. No matter what happens, if he's in a bad movie, it is not his fault because he does the same thing in every movie.
Right.
He overacts and whoa, like every movie he does. Whoa. So when you hire him, you know what you're getting. You know, and that's why I love him.
Oh, by the way, did you see Mandy yet?
What?
The Nicolas Cage movie, Mandy. Remember you showed me the trailer for it? It was the one where he's like going on like a killing spree, trying to save a girl.
I don't remember this.
Oh, come on. In the trailer, he's fighting a guy with a chainsaw. You showed me that. You were the one who showed me the trailer.
Well, how long ago was this?
I don't know, like last year at some point.
I'm not going to remember.
Oh, I'm surprised. Well,
I know. Listen. So the answer to your question is no, not yet.
Okay. All right. Well, you got to watch it.
But now that you've reminded me, I'm going to fix that problem.
You better.
I have to. I have to see every Nick Cage movie.
Right. Did you see Mom and Dad?
Yeah, of course.
What did you think of that?
I mean, I loved it, obviously, Nick Cage. The man could do no wrong.
I mean, that ending.
Oh.
It just ends. It just ends.
Except for Burning Man. But other than that, he could do no wrong.
Whoa! You mean the Wicker Man?
Wicker Man, Burning Man.
Same thing.
So I went by the ending. Burning Man, yeah.
But yeah, well, But yeah, he's a great actor. He's one of the best. And
I mean, those are strong words. He's an actor.
Everyone.
I like him.
Everyone needs a little more Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Shouldn't really be in everything. Cast him as the next Catwoman. Yeah, it's Nick Cage. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
I'm Catwoman.
Yeah.
Okay, Batman, come here. I got this diamond.
That's it. It's good. Don't give him any lines. Just every time Batman interacts with him as Catwoman, just that's it.
It's me. It's Nicolas Cage.
Exactly. Don't even give him a script. Just let him walk out there in a fucking leather Catwoman outfit.
I know what I'm doing, guys.
I'm Batman. Oh.
Mr. Cage, you're not Batman. You're Catwoman.
No, I'm Batman.
I'm just dressed like a cat.
I feel like doing an impression of Nicolas Cage is like when we mess up, because we messed it up a few times.
Yeah.
We just sound like Keanu Reeves from the 90s.
Whoa. Which another segue.
It's always good when you point them out.
Yeah.
Real smooth.
Yeah. Smooth as sandpaper.
Yeah.
Fucking Keanu Reeves. They're doing Bill and Ted 3. It's official. They start filming in the summer.
Good.
It's awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
I can't believe that Bill?
Alex Winter?
Yes. I was right. He's Bill, right?
Yeah. Alex
it's been
Winter.
a while.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they were able to fucking reanimate his fucking corpse to come back and do this movie.
He's not that old.
Well, his career has been dead for a long fucking time.
Fair point.
They had to reanimate something to bring him back.
Fair point.
Can you imagine?
Well, actually, no. He's done a lot of directing. He's done
Whatever.
a lot of directing.
Yeah, well, his acting career has been dead now.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how fast he must have said yes to that? When Keanu shows up to his house dressed like Neo.
And that's another thing that's going to be so great about this movie. Think about this, man. We've actually lived long enough to see Keanu Reeves' acting career come full circle.
Yeah. Speaking of, I've actually heard rumor recently that, I don't remember if it was the writer, director, or whatever it was, is working on The Matrix 4.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Why? We didn't even need a 2 and a 3. Why make a 4?
We needed a 1.
I like the first one.
No, fuck the Matrix trilogy. It was fucking stupid. If I want to watch a movie about a bunch of people fighting in some VI world, I'll watch Tron.
All right. Or watch Equilibrium.
I like that better than Matrix, honestly. Honestly, between the two, Equilibrium should have gotten a badass trilogy over fucking Matrix.
It's just another very underrated Christian Bale movie.
Yeah. I mean, Christian Bale is overrated. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I hate you, Christian. You're a piece of shit. You're in things that I enjoy, but I feel like you ruin entertainment by existing. You were also the worst fucking Batman, and your trilogy sucked. Yes, that's right. It did. It was bad. He invented the stupid, let's tell him to talk like this. Like, any time now, you watch a fucking movie and the hero needs to just have that brief moment of being a badass, he has to talk with a rasp. Thank you, Christian Bale, for doing this. I really enjoy seeing this in every fucking hero movie now. It's fantastic. So good.
Yep. I was not a fan of his Batman voice either. I don't know. I still enjoy the first
Equilibrium was good.
I still enjoy the first two Batman movies, the first two Dark Knight trilogy movies immensely. But another very underrated.
See there, fanboys. I could hate on DC stuff too.
What about Green Lantern?
What about Green Lantern?
The Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie.
What? That was a thing? Actually, all right. So here's my thing on that. Yes, it was terrible. I'm sorry, Reynolds. It happens. The special effects were kind of cool. The post-credit ending was great because it shows Sinestro getting the yellow lantern ring.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, it was terrible. Also, just for me, you don't have to rewatch the whole movie, but rewatch the scene where Reynolds is doing the oath, I think, for the first time.
Okay.
Because it starts off with him doing his normal Ryan Reynolds voice. And then at the end, because he had to sound badass, when he gets to Green Lantern's light, it goes from Ryan Reynolds' voice to Green Lantern's light, and then it goes straight into Christian Bale bat. If it's not that scene, I know it happens during the movie. He has to sound badass, and just for one line, it's just one line, he does the Christian Bale Batman voice, because that's how it works now. Thank you, Christian. I hate you.
Yeah, that movie was not very good. I gotta watch that scene again just to see if he really does that.
I think it's during the oath. Granted, I only saw the movie once, just like everyone else.
Yeah, same. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't remember.
Yeah,
'cause I've only seen it the one time. It's bad. It's not good.
No.
It's bad.
But to sidetrack real quick from comic books and stuff.
Oh, please.
We're gonna go to probably one of my first loves of entertainment, and
I think I know where you're going with this, and it was one of my first loves too.
And I just want to talk about some of the horror stuff that's gonna be happening soon.
Yeah, let's do it.
The two things on my radar. Some of you will be happy to hear these. Some of you won't. I'll save the one that most people know for a second. But there is another Critters movie coming out.
Yeah, it looks really good.
For those of you who love Critters, go to YouTube and look for the new Critters movie trailer. If you're into silly shenanigans, Critters has finally decided that after all these years, we're just going to admit that we're not trying anymore. And we're just going to steer into the skid of being absolutely ridiculous, which is what the new movie is going to be. It looks bonkers. There's silly shit happening constantly, even in just the trailer. You know.
Yep.
And I'm super excited to see this new Critters movie.
I'm definitely going to watch it, yeah.
I mean, at one point, and you see this in the trailer, so there's no such thing as trailer spoilers. I don't care what people say. At one point, there's a little scene.
Wait, people say there's trailer spoilers?
Yeah, apparently you could spoil a trailer.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing now.
Because you point out because even trailers have the good scene, I guess, of a trailer, which I'm about to talk about for Critters. Where all the critters just make a giant ball of furry critters that's just rolling down the street in the trailer, getting ready to chomp people. It's fantastic.
Didn't they do that in part 3?
It looks much better.
Part 2 or part 3?
Just watch the trailer. Right, yeah. It's fucking hilarious.
All right.
There's a giant buzzsaw of furry ball death.
Well, what are your thoughts? Did you see the new It trailer?
Yes. Well, there's only one. right?
Yeah, it's just
okay.
the one that came
With
out
the
right
old
now.
lady.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I've said it before. I hate Skarsgård. I know that's not how you say his name, but fuck him.
Wait, who?
Skarsgård. Whoever played the guy who plays Pennywise.
Oh, yeah. Skarsgård. Yeah.
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
Listen, when he does something that I respect, I'll learn how to pronounce his name. All right? He's one of the worst things about the movie. He's a terrible Pennywise. And those of you who don't notice, rewatch Chapter 1. He cannot control his accent. His accent changes from scene to scene as Pennywise, and that's despicable. And when he laughs, he laughs like Goofy, and I hate it. Like he just sounds just like Goofy from the fucking cartoons with the yuck right before laughing is despicable, all right?
Right.
The only thing that I really, truly enjoyed about Chapter 1 was the children. The children did a fantastic fucking job.
Yeah.
All you kids that the actors who played the children, congratulations, you were fantastic. I'm sorry that you got cast in a shit movie. But to be fair, one of you is in Stranger Things, so you really don't give a shit anyway.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, exactly.
Now, for Chapter 2, all right, I'm going to see it. Obviously, I have to.
We're going to go see it.
And I'm expecting it to be just as big a disappointment to me personally as the first one was. I'm sure, just like the first one, there'll be people out there who just like, oh, it's so much truer to the books than the original TV series.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the original It is not a movie, it was a TV series.
It was a mini-series. Yeah.
They've compiled it into movie format, which is good for us.
Right.
But it was a series.
Yep.
So, for those people, it's like, oh, it's truer to the books. Go back, read the fucking book. It is just as true to the book as the TV series was, which is not that much. Now, It Chapter 2 is a little more hopeful for me, actually.
Okay.
Because they are doing something that is true to the books. Where the first one only concentrated on the child saga.
Right.
Which goes against the book completely, because as we all know, the book is a flashback mechanic,
Yeah.
which is one of the reasons why it was amazing, because it added to the build-up.
Right.
Chapter 2 looks like it is also doing a flashback mechanic.
Okay.
Because, going by the preview, you see the kids, and you see the adults, so at least they're doing that basic thing from the book. That was one of the reasons why it was so great. So I'm happy for that.
Right.
I'm happy to see the children again, because if the adults blow ass for their characters, at least there'll be scenes with the children that I'll enjoy.
But someone we both really like a lot is going to be in the movie, so Bill Hader.
Bill Hader,
Yep.
I love Bill Hader.
Yep. So that should be something to look forward to.
He's one of the funniest yuck men that
Yep.
I enjoy. I'm disappointed at who they cast for the Jewish character as an adult. I feel like the kid, right, for the Jewish character, the perfect cast for me for the adult role would have been the actor who played the Penguin from Gotham, because the actor who played the child version and then the actor who played Penguin looked so much alike that it would have been perfect. Also, spoilers, he dies.
Right.
So he wouldn't have even need to be in the movie for that long. They already got Bill Hader, and of course they got
what's his face?
to play Bill.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
All right, so we are terrible with names, but the person we are talking
James McAvoy.
is James McAvoy.
Yeah.
I remembered. Just came to me.
That's it, James McAvoy. Yeah.
And McAvoy, even though his track record for me is movies that are bad, as an actor, I love him. I think he's got an incredible range. He is a great actor. It's just he usually gets cast in movies that I think are trash. But I'm looking forward to seeing him attempt to stutter for an hour and a half. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
What I'm curious about is now chapter 2 is gonna come down to one scene. It's gonna for me anyway, and honestly for a lot of my other friends who are into horror, it's gonna come down to one scene. The whole movie could be great or bad, leading up to this one scene, and then when this scene happens, that's the point where you either stay to finish the movie or you leave the theater. Once Pennywise reveals his spider crab form,
Spider Pennywise. Yeah.
Once that form gets revealed, if it's awesome, you will stay. If it's fucking terrible, then the whole thing is a waste of fucking time.
Right.
The only way that if they have a terrible version of his spider form, the only way that they could save it is if they bring in the fucking turtle monster. Well, not monster. He's a good guy.
Well, he's a god.
From the dimension that Pennywise is actually from.
Yeah.
To fight Pennywise.
Which I was really upset they didn't touch on at all in the first movie, in the first new It movie.
Well, the problem with that, I don't think they ever would, because, you know how King is. King back then was a little fucking nutso.
Yeah. But
so all his stories are in the same universe.
Yeah.
So to throw that in would implicate too much for other potential Stephen King stories. You know what, Stephen King? You know what you should have fucking done? Should have done with your stories what comic books do with theirs, and just make a King movie universe where they do all exist in the same. That would actually, you know what? That would be fucking amazing.
That kind of already exists. The show Castle Rock on Hulu.
No, fuck a TV show. I want movies. I want to see It movies that somehow coexist with Needful Things or Dark Half or Langoliers, just all his fucking shit. That would have been amazing. TV show, is one thing, but
right,
Stephen King, please get some good people to do it for you, and make a Stephen King movie universe, and you'll blow these comic books out of the water.
You know what I wonder? I wonder what there's more of, Stephen King movies or Stephen King TV miniseries. Wonder which one there's more of.
I would say movies, because there are plenty of Stephen King movies out there that people don't know about.
That's
Half,
true.
For example.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that Dark Half, my favorite Stephen King
directed by
novel,
George Romero, rest in peace,
was turned into a movie.
Yep.
An average movie, but it was turned into one. And a lot of people, unless you're a Stephen King fan, wouldn't know that. There are horror fans that I know that don't even know that.
Well, there's also that. Well, I'm surprised that a lot of people have never even heard of Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed Silver Bullet, and I'm that movie about werewolves with Gary Busey. It's great. It's
Oh my goodness, Gary Busey.
The
The Nicolas Cage before
He was Nicolas Cage before Nicolas Cage.
Pretty much. Just Nicolas Cage, but with more teeth.
Yeah.
Him and his son.
That and the Dead Zone, the one with Christopher Walken, the David Cronenberg Dead Zone. What?
No, I was just thinking about how much I enjoy Walken for the same reasons I enjoy Cage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that movie's great. That's another great Stephen King adaptation. I'm surprised a lot of people haven't seen that either.
And then we got a little sidetracked there. The second horror movie I wanted to talk about is the new Chucky movie coming out.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too.
Now,
but you did it for me.
Thank you. Or you're welcome, whatever. It's late. I'm getting tired. For those of you complaining, all right, I was like you. When there was just pictures, I fucking hated how the new Chucky looked. Then I saw the trailer, and you know what? It's not fucking terrible. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the new Chucky look isn't horrible.
Yeah.
And honestly, after seeing the trailer, I kind of want to see the new Chucky movie.
No.
I'm not.
Not only that, but it's Mark Hamill doing the voice.
Yeah.
And I really want to hear him accidentally slip into the Joker voice over and over again.
But I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. And
same.
I didn't think I would be.
Me neither.
But who knows? Maybe finally. Actually, you know what? That's not true. I was going to say maybe finally there'll be a horror movie that's come out that I thoroughly enjoy. But the funny yuck horror movies, I just enjoy. Like Critters isn't going to take itself seriously.
Yeah.
So of course I'm going to like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Chucky was never that serious to me to begin with. It'd be like making another Leprechaun movie, where like...
Which they did last year.
I don't look at it like a horror movie. I look at it as something I'm going to laugh at.
Well, I mean, in the first Leprechaun movie, they literally stop him by throwing shoes at him, where he's compelled to stop and shine them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, that's what little Irishmen like to do, I guess.
Like to shine shoes.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever leprechauns like.
Yeah.
Some of them like gold, and this one like polishing shoes. Good for you, guys. But yeah, and because the problem is, for me anyway, why I made that statement about enjoying a horror movie is horror now, for its overall theme. Like, I grew up with, some classics that told a good tale, it spun a yarn, and slashers, and unfortunately, nowadays, horror movies are either gore porn, which tell no story, it's just tits and blood,
Yep. Looking at you, Eli Roth and Rob Zombie.
Yeah, fucking Rob Zombie. Or before I go on a Rob Zombie rant by accident, it's found footage, which is trash.
Yeah, there's people actually
and POV.
Yeah.
And if it's none of those things, the current hotness is hauntings. And I hate hauntings. I hate possession movies.
Same. And that's all it is now. It's the haunting of this, the possession of that, and it's like, fuck off.
Give me a fucking classic slasher, or even some of these remakes they're doing. Just make the remake good. They're all bad. Like, and now Pet Sematary is getting one.
It already came out. It's already been out.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
see, this is how much I hate these fucking remakes.
Yeah.
Now I have to go and fucking find that movie, so I have a basis to hate, I guess. But, and yeah, it feels to me like the genre of horror has been dead for a long time, and it's been replaced with the genre of thriller. And for those of you
me and you were
who don't agree that horror and thriller or that the two thriller as a genre doesn't exist and it's all just horror, kill yourself, because they are different. Any real horror fan or cinephobe, is that the right word? Cinephile will agree that there's a difference between horror movies and there's a difference between thriller movies. I'm not going to go into details right now. We may do that in a future episode. But know that horror seems to me like it's been dead for a long time and it's just been replaced by a constant stream of nonstop thriller movies. And thriller movies are bad. They're easy to make. They're easy to write. And every now and then you sprinkle in some stupid movie.
There's so many of them.
Yeah. Every now and then they'll sprinkle in a movie about like a killer, tire or a killer, rocking chair or something. That's like just meant to be stupid and silly.
You talking about Rubber?
Yeah.
With the tire?
Yeah. And that's fine. Throw in those silly things. I mean, stop making Sharknadoes, but throw in other silly stuff.
I think the next Sharknado is supposed to be the last one, so.
Finally, good. Fuck Sharknado. But, like, there are so many old classics that, like, monsters that just aren't getting used anymore. I haven't seen a good zombie movie in who knows how long. I haven't seen a good vampire movie in who knows how long.
I'm honestly over the zombie genre, like, as a whole at this point, because it's just, after The Walking Dead came out, they just beat that genre to death. Pardon the pun. But yeah.
But, I mean, there are other monsters. I mean, when's the last good werewolf movie? When's the last good vampire movie? And to be fair,
What We Do in the Shadows.
When we grew up in the horror genre.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah.
When we grew up in the 90s, those were like the main monsters. Zombies, werewolves, vampires. But where's the love for, like, the Mummy? Use Mummy in a movie, it turns into an action movie. Give me a horror Mummy movie, like now. That might be kind of cool,
Yeah.
Or just a random monster in general.
What I want to know is where is all my Lovecraftian horror movies? Where I want more.
Well, I mean, Lovecraft is a difficult topic to touch. When you
really.
Look at the creator, it's a difficult thing to touch.
I mean,
like, talking about Lovecraft is like talking about like Salvador Dali or Hitler. Like, it's just like really weird things that you gotta like traverse carefully because there's a lot of shit to make fun of.
Fun of, like, what?
Or just like bring up, like,
Oh, you mean like his blatant racism?
Yeah. They're like little minefields.
Yeah, sure. But if you just stick to, like...
And Lovecraft is difficult,
I don't think so. No, I here's because, you're taking something that's very base. He created was probably my favorite subgenre of horror, cosmic horror, and that's when humanity is portrayed as being insignificant within the cosmos of the universe, and how there really is truly big and terrifying things out there in the cosmos that we can't do anything about. We can't fight against it. We can't stop it. It's an all-powerful, indifferent force that just doesn't care about us and will easily wipe us out as they would just pass us by. And I feel like you can adapt that very well.
I disagree.
Well, agree to disagree.
Sorry about that.
All right.
Not for disagreeing, for yawning in the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You say it's very base, but like my thing is when it comes to Lovecraft, there's one.
I'm sorry. I just mean it's based by how it's a very existential driven type of dread that can be portrayed well.
My thing with Lovecraft, something I always attach to it, is sanity.
Well, that too. Yeah.
And my thing is, most actors, especially nowadays, because they're all prissy fucks, to me, wouldn't be able to act the type of Lovecraftian insanity that happens that well. It'll probably come off as silly. It would come off as Nicolas Cage at the end of Wicker Man. Honestly, that's how it would look. Like them attempting to like really drive home their mental state. This isn't the fucking 70s where you could just torture somebody for fun. Clockwork Orange, and get the image you're looking for. Actors have rights now, apparently, not just glorified furniture. Well,
I was really let down when Guillermo del Toro wasn't able to make his Lovecraft adaptation. He was actively trying to make an adaptation of At the Mountains of Madness.
Del Toro, why don't you just stick to like specific thing? Why are you trying to put your hand into every kind of pie?
I don't know. I think he would make a great adaptation of At the Mountains of Madness.
Give it to Argento.
But yeah, I like I said, I think it can be done well if given to the right
Also, I
person,
don't think there's a lot of clamoring for it.
i.e. me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think there's a big,
No, I said if you give the material to the right person,
Oh,
i.e. me.
don't do it. It's a bad idea.
Shut up, Tommaso.
Took us months to get just this started. But no, even just the like. I feel like the Lovecraftian stuff has a cult following, but
see,
trying to start a really big it would be low budget. I don't think that anyone would trust a Lovecraft with high budget money, and Lovecraft definitely needs high budget money.
Well, a lot of stuff we've been talking about tonight, other than Endgame, has seems to have a cult following. Like
no,
even
Hellboy has an actual following because of the movies.
Well, because of the movies, but the comics, it's more of a cult franchise with the comics. Not that many people have actually read the source material. And that's that. Although, an interesting callback to when we were talking about Hellboy, I did read an article saying that the success of Endgame has slowed down comic book sales for Marvel Comics, but the failure of the Hellboy movie has boosted comic book sales for the Hellboy comics. So go figure.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe people are too concerned with the movie to actually read the story. Because, you know what it is? A lot of fucking people who see the Marvel movies, that is their canon. Which it's not. It's not canon. It's not.
I know.
It is not canon. It is not the comic books. All right? If you do not know the source material, honestly, I usually don't give a shit about your opinion. You know how many people I know enjoyed Civil War? And it's not even Marvel's Civil War. It's Captain America's fucking Civil War. Now, for those of you who don't know, all right, Civil War was a story arc, a massive story arc that happened in the Marvel comics.
Yep.
One of the few story arcs that Marvel did that I truly respect and really love. It was an amazing story. That started with an orphanage exploding.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. And it spanned over multiple Marvel comic franchises, and it did have the big kind of wall between the Avengers, because of Iron Man, who was pro hero registration,
right,
and Captain America, who was against it. And what they did in the comics was amazing. If Disney really took, was it Disney at that point, or was it did they not?
Captain America: Civil War?
Yeah,
that was Disney.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know when Disney bought out.
They bought them out. I think shortly after the first Iron Man movie. Like it was pretty much right when it started.
Well, regardless, the story, if they really wanted to take their heads out of their asses, they would have turned Civil War, in my opinion, into a trilogy, because there's a lot of story to tell there. Between the characters who was responsible for the orphanage exploding, which kind of spearheaded this whole thing.
Yep.
Between the little war kind of thing happening between Iron Man and Captain America, and one of the big characters, to me anyway, in the story, Spider-Man. Spider-Man goes through a lot of shit in Civil War.
Not only that, but he reveals his secret identity through all of it.
Well, the thing was, Spider-Man was one of the few characters who he didn't know which side to pick.
Right.
As Spider-Man, he was
conflicted.
Yeah. Well, I think it was as Spider-Man, he was against hero registration, but as Peter Parker, he was for it.
Right.
Yeah. Because he had his Aunt May to protect, and et cetera, et cetera. So if villains and superpowered people, et cetera, had to register, that might help. No, it's the other way around. My mistake. No. I was right the first time. Sorry. So he really didn't know what side of the fence to pick. And there are some awesome scenes in the comics. Like, there's a scene with him talking to Punisher about it. That was a great fucking scene. And it just kind of feels shitty that they took one of Marvel's greatest stories and dumped it down to who's actually my favorite BFF.
Yeah.
Between this one-armed cripple and then this alcoholic fucking cripple, pretty much, with his heart. I guess you call him a cripple too.
I guess so.
Yep. And it just kind of sucked. That's what they did.
Yeah.
Also, Marvel, or my mistake, Disney. If you're watching, which obviously you're not, if you need a new villain for your next phase, don't do the Conqueror, whatever the fuck his name was.
Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, don't do Kang. Give a lot of us, comic book fans a reason to maybe like Marvel, especially if we don't. And use Onslaught. Just give me Onslaught.
Well, now that they have 20th Century Fox X-Men, they can do that. Yeah.
Give us Onslaught as the main villain. It would be so fucking cool. And, just do a better job with it than you did with Thanos.
Yeah.
They
wouldn't be able to do that up until recently.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the rights to X-Men.
I know. That's why I'm asking Disney to do it now.
Not
like 4 weeks ago.
Fair point. That would be cool. I would love to see Onslaught. I would love to see Mr. Sinister done right.
Yeah, that'd be rough though. I love Mr. Sinister, but getting like the really creepy, like he almost had like a kind of rapey feel when it came to Jean Grey.
He was a little rapey.
Yeah. Well, he was a pretty big creeper, that guy.
Yeah.
That's like saying you want to see Dr. Light done right. And the only way to do that is with a porno.
Didn't get that graphic in the comic. I mean, it's...
he rapes 2 people.
Yeah, but they don't actually show it.
One of them he murders.
Yeah, but they don't actually show him doing it.
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe there's like a panel.
In the Elongated Man fucking story, I forget what it was called. There is a couple panels that shows him, I think, behind someone on.
Yeah, okay.
Like, right pre-rape. That's just like right there.
Yeah, but then it cuts like.
Yeah.
Right when it's about to start,
But yeah.
But yeah, no. Dr. Light's a piece of shit. Yeah.
Fights children and rapes women.
Fucking. Did they kill Dr. Light?
Sounds like Dr. Trump.
Wait, do they kill? Wait, how do they? I'm trying to remember how they subdue him or defeat him.
I know this. They fucking what the hell's the word now? A lobotomy.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
They turn.
That's right. Yeah, they lobotomize him and brainwash him. That's right. Yeah.
All right, so
that's right.
I don't need to apologize for my words. They pretty much lobotomize him, and they kind of turn him into a bumbling idiot.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because they say this is a worse punishment than any other. That's
yeah. And they magically lobotomize him.
Wasn't it Dr. Fate that does it? Or
no, it's Zatanna.
Zatanna, yeah, that's right. Zatanna, yeah.
And bonus points. Do you know who else got magically lobotomized?
Batman.
That's right. Because Batman was against this magical lobotomization because he felt like it was akin to murder.
Right.
And as we all know, Batman, as much as I like you, just can't watch people die, no matter what, even if it's not his fault.
Mm-hmm.
He just no one's allowed to die, which is silly.
Yeah.
There's so many times when the Joker could have died, and it wouldn't have been Batman's fault. But if Batman just didn't interfere, then But I don't know. He does it for whatever reason. He was against it, so they magically lobotomized him. Also, there's actually a whole story arc about what we just talked about.
Yep.
I forget what it's called.
Identity Crisis.
Yep. One of DC's really good story arcs.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you could look past the raping.
Oh yeah. DC was going for it in the 90s. Yeah, they were going for it.
Another reason why I preferred their comics growing up. DC was always more adult themed.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, they have. Pretty sure it was DC. They had back in the day. They had an issue of one of their comics was Green Arrow,
and Green Lantern.
A Green Lantern.
Speedy doing heroin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Walking in on Speedy doing heroin.
Yep.
Yeah.
My ward is doing dope.
He had his arm tourniqueted.
Yep.
On the cover and everything.
Yep.
And the whole story was pretty much an anti-drug fucking thing.
There was also that villain that ran on cocaine. What the hell was his name?
Oh, there was a villain that did get his power from snorting coke.
Yeah, what was his power?
Very short.
What was his name? Villain. What was his name? I can't think of it.
Very, very short-lived villain.
Yep.
I
think it was like.
But to be fair,
Snowfire.
That does sound correct.
Like it was like Snowfire or something. Hold on.
As bad as all of these sound, there was a hero, I believe, in Marvel whose superpower was effectively rape.
Wait, what?
Star Fox. That was Marvel, right?
Star Fox? Marvel?
I believe it was Marvel. If not, then it was DC. My mistake.
Wait, what? Wait, why are we talking about rape again?
that was his superpower. He was a good guy. All right, so
what?
His hero name was Star Fox, right?
Okay.
And it's not that his power was technically rape, but
Snowflame. That's the name of the villain who got his powers from cocaine.
Yes.
With Snowflame. Yeah.
And
he's from New Earth.
Star Fox is Marvel.
Okay.
So his power was that I don't remember if it was pheromones or just by talking, but either way, and specifically women, it only worked on the opposite sex, would kind of become enthralled by him, right? Now,
so his power was seduction. Is that what you're saying, basically?
Well, to a point, because he did sleep with quite a number of heroines from Marvel. Now, the heroines, once they snapped out of it, I guess, knew the whole time what was happening and was obviously against it, and there was just Star Fox using his power of seduction to sleep with them, which is rape. You know? And I think the way they fixed that problem.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
I think the way they fixed that problem, which oddly enough, it seems like Marvel uses a solution quite a lot, is they stuck Star Fox in a spaceship and shot him out into space and told him he wasn't allowed on Earth anymore. No. Just like they did with the Hulk. That's like their go-to punishment.
Like, you go to space. Yeah.
You are now banished from Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a hero.
A hero. Yeah. Oh man, how do we get out of this one? Oh jeez. Let's go back to horror.
Oh no, there's other things coming out soon.
Yeah.
You know, new Sonic movie. You know? Now for people who bitch about it, just so you look it up, it seems confirmed that they are going back and editing it, which is, not that, big a deal, and making Sonic look more traditional for all you yuckleheads who bitched about it.
I did not think the design was that bad. I thought it looked fine.
My favorite complaint was his eyes aren't touching. That was my favorite complaint. If that's what you're complaining about, stop.
Well, apparently now I bet every CG animator who worked on that movie is like, these fucking pieces of shit. Now we gotta go back and redesign the whole fucking thing. God damn it.
But you know what? I feel like the pop culture Illuminati, I guess, really pick and choose what to bitch about. And I have a theory. I think it really does start with one bitchy ass fanboy. And the way it works is now, if the first, few hundred memes that came out about Sonic were good memes, like positive memes about the movie, people would have looked forward to it. But some fucking cucklehead out there posted a meme that was negative about it, and it spread like a fucking venereal disease over the internet, and every fucking pop culture society character who saw that meme caught the fucking VD. And now all of a sudden hate it. I really feel that's how it works now. Is all it takes is one meme to make or break anything.
Right.
And it spreads like wildfire, if you don't want to use venereal disease as an analogy.
Yeah.
and that's what the PC society, that's how they judge things. That's how they get brainwashed. And that's all it takes, just the one fucking meme.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's why if you hear about something well in advance coming out that you might be excited for, like the new Mortal Kombat movie that I'm hearing rumors about.
Oh, yes.
Make memes for it now.
In development.
That put it in a positive light and just start throwing it out into the internet. And hopefully it spreads goodness about it, And it's a shame. Obviously I love the internet. That's where I'm talking to you from.
Yeah.
But it's one of the most horrible fucking things because that's how everyone gets their information. And it's worse when you get it through social media. Oh
yeah.
But this channel isn't about that stuff. So, I'm looking forward to Jim Carrey in it. I think he's going to be fantastic. I love that. I love that he's doing stuff again. Mm-hmm. But to go back to picking and choosing, people complained that Sonic's eyes didn't touch, but no one bitched that Jim Carrey wasn't fat. Eggman's supposed to be large.
Yeah.
And, large with the best set of prison legs I've ever seen.
Large and round.
Yeah, big on top and shaky little prison legs. Yeah, no one complained about that.
Nope.
Why? Because there wasn't a meme talking shit about it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's PC meme culture. It's the era we live in now.
Yeah.
And it basically drives a popular opinion of everything.
Yeah.
And if you have any opinion that doesn't fit into that mold, you're basically ostracized. You're made fun of. It's like I don't understand. Like I told you, I posted a thing on Facebook the other day when I was at Taco Bell. I was wearing a DC shirt.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, the guy at the register looks at it and goes, "Oh, you're wearing a DC shirt?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Why would you wear that?" I'm like, "Because DC's awesome." "Well, the movies have been bad." "Well, I'm talking about the comics." "Yeah, but the movies, man." "No, I don't care about the movies. I read the comics."
Yeah.
And that seemed to shut him up right away.
Good, it should have. Because I even commented, but fuck that fuck and his fucking fuck. Alright? If that, we talked about that earlier. He's one of those fucking cuckleheads that the movies are his canon.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not the case.
Yep.
It's not. Real fans know what the canon is, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, Marvel, you may have been winning in the movie universe, but for the last, 40, 50 years, DC has been winning animated. DC has been winning TV shows.
They've been winning comics.
DC has been winning comics.
100%. I will make an argument.
Video games are probably 50-50 at this point.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, guess who was winning the movies? It was DC.
Yeah.
Because every Marvel movie that came out back then, that wasn't, I guess, technically whatever, was shit.
Right. And yeah, exactly. And I will even make the argument that the DC comics are better now than they've ever been before because they actually are progressing these character arcs.
Rebirth?
After Rebirth, they're actually evolving these characters that we've been with through the decades in ways that we've never seen before. And I'm still an avid reader. I'm still reading all the current stuff.
Still waiting for them to do more with the Jokers.
They're combining that with I believe the Doomsday Clock miniseries that they're doing, because I believe one of the Jokers is the comedian, and they show that in I'm pretty sure that.
I guess that makes sense.
That does happen. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Also, at the beginning of Rebirth, Batman finds the comedian Button
Yeah.
in the Batcave. It's just like in the one of the walls of the Batcave. He like notices it and he goes, "What the hell?" And picks it
that
up.
was DC's way of showing everybody that they own that now.
Well, no. You see, basically now, like Dr. Manhattan is the main villain of the DC universe. He's the puppet master that's pulling all the strings right now with everything
Turned him
that's
into a villain.
yeah, basically. They actually do, but
I
they're
feel like that's a bit of a stretch. He kind of ended neutral.
yeah, but they're doing a lot of cool stuff with him. Like he brings back Jor-El. He goes to Krypton, back in time to Krypton before it explodes. Takes Jor-El, turns Jor-El into a villain by showing him all the horrible things that humanity will do and all this stuff, and how his son will fight for humanity. And he was like, and Jor-El was like, "What? He's gonna protect these fucking stupid monkeys? No, not on my watch." And Jor-El becomes a villain, and that was really cool because we've never. Who would think to take Jor-El, Superman's dead father, a biological father, bring him back from the past, and turn him into a villain?
I feel like it would have been easier just to bring back Zod from the.
But where?
What is he imprisoned again?
What's that thing called? The negative zone? No,
maybe
not the negative zone.
I forget.
I know what you're talking about, though. I know
Because it was a stupid thing that they barely use anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know what the fate of Zod is in Rebirth.
Neither do I. I'm not really sure. I don't even think he's there. I mean, I think he's just still gone. I could be wrong, but I disagree. I think that wouldn't have been as good because everyone expects Zod to come back as a villain. Who would expect Jor-El to come back as a villain? But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, they're doing a lot of great stuff right now with the comics, and they're just killing it, honestly. And I don't think Marvel can hold a candle to them with the comics.
No. They haven't for a long time.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they can't hold on to even their own titles, really. Their own property rights.
Apparently.
So,
yeah. Oh. But yeah.
Anything coming out? Anything else happening soon that you want to bring up?
I think that's pretty much it. I think we can end this.
Well, maybe there's more that I want to bring up.
Well, then bring it up, man. Shit. We've had dead air for almost a minute. Bring something up.
No, I don't think I really have. No, that might have to do it tonight, folks. It's late. We're getting tired. Our brains are slowing down.
Yeah.
We're old.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, this will end the first episode of Pop Victims because we are victims of pop culture.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Any final words for our friends out there in internet land?
If you do watch this and somehow do enjoy it, please like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm going to leave you with these words to, potentially, maybe make you feel better about your day. But remember, children, suicide is never the answer. You want to outlive your enemies.
That's right. Because you want to see your enemies suffer. Don't let them see you suffer. You want to see them suffer. And on that note, we will say goodbye. Till next time, everyone.